Vel'Koz.
No, definitely
Vel'Koz needs to sit back a lot further, whereas with Orianna, you want her to be relatively close in order to get a huge ult off. So I think that is probably the better choice for Orianna and for Vel'Koz. So I think Invictus do love their 5 points, and we're seeing that, whereas Off-Road Aquarium, they are looking to invade, and I think they are probably right to try and invade. They are already seen, though, by Ozinox, who uses his speed up on the Dark Trail? Whatever it's called.
I am the worst for ability names. I honestly know none of them. I know a few from like champions. I play a ton. Beyond that, I'm absolutely the worst. When I'm talking in fights, I'm like, yep, he used his Q, he used his E. You know what it is. I don't need to say the names. Other than like a few of them, which I know. Like, hey, I know Kaiser's and I know most of Thresh's. So
there we go.
And I know a lot of the ults, because ults are funny to say when they happen in big. It's like, you know, do you know what Ted's ult's called?
It's just called Charge.
Is it actually?
It's just called Charge.
I don't know many of Aura's ults names, to be honest.
So, let's try and think.
What's Vel'Koz's called? It's got a stupid name, right?
Something laser.
I always think it's called Death Laser, but it's not called Death Laser. That's what I call it.
Yeah. Disintegration Ray.
Ah, okay.
It's something like that. So we have the Kayn starting Raptors, which is pretty normal, and the Nocturne being leashed for his red buff.
Yeah, so Kayn is pretty interesting in this meta, where we're talking about earlier how it's so hard for junglers to be on the meta if they're not just fast clearing junglers. And Kayn can keep up with the clear speed a bit. He does have a very quick clear himself, and he's looking to maybe just invade the blue buff here.
I like that. I like that. Nocturne doesn't have a hugely fast clear, particularly the fact that he went Krugs as well, rather than pathing up towards his Krugs. Dave putting a decent chunk of damage onto Zooms. He got the level 2, and I mean, Kled level 2 is very, very strong. I like that. What do you think is the most volatile lane? Where do you think we'll see the most skirmishes?
This is so hard to say, because it's like Thresh Kai'Sa is an incredibly toxic lane and can just honestly get kills on its own for free if Thresh hits a big hook. Vel'Koz can one-shot Orianna if he gets a bit of poke damage on, like we're seeing now. Yeah. But I think it's more about the team play and the globals we're going to see from Invictus rather than particularly lanes. I can imagine they don't want to trade too heavily in these lanes unless they're confident that they can outnumber them potentially, because your main advantage for your team isn't winning these 1v1 lanes, it's winning this massive team fight that you've got. When you look at these lanes as a collective rather than single, I think Invictus, that's where they really come together, whereas singly in the lanes, I don't think it's as volatile, as good for them.
So both junglers have gone for separate Scuttle Crab, so we do not see any Scuttle Crab fights. Fair enough. Nocturne pathing up towards Gromp, and Kayn might be looking onto Dabis. He does have a full. He does have red buff as well, so the slow comes down. His W comes down as well. That is a huge chunk of damage onto Dabis. He does not go down, but he will have to use all of his corrupting potion stacks just to stay in lane.
Yeah, definitely, and even just getting that, there's early few orbs on Kayn can feel so good. He's so much stronger of a champion. Even if it's not the right orbs you're looking for, you go to the lane you need afterwards, and you can pick up those orbs. Which is interesting, because if we are seeing him go red Kayn, the only lane he can really gank is top lane.
Yeah,
could maybe get some on the fresh.
Like roaming onto Enix, Eternal Ether misses the stun onto Enix, but it's okay. This is a huge wave bot already building up. Dave might be looking to try and pressure Zooms. It doesn't. Right. So, there we go. I just said Dave trying to put a little bit of poke onto Zooms, but Zooms is able to quite nicely rebuke most of that damage. Unfortunately, Dave just missing out on a cannon minion as well. Really unlucky there with his Q. It's rope, bear trap on a rope, I think. is the Q name,
I
which
don't
is
think I've ever
lovely.
I think I've played Kled like twice ever.
He has the best voice lines in the game. I am High Major Commodore of the 3rd Legion, 4th Multiplication, Double Admiral
He
Artillery.
has some
You will
long ass
respect me.
titles, doesn't he?
that is the best voice line in the game. Change my mind, chat.
All right, we're actually seeing worth noting, even though okay, Dabus, even though we were talking about the early gank on the mid lane, Dabus has a decent lead on the farm.
Yeah, I mean, is that 41 to 29 CS, which is, in 5 minutes, that's quite a big difference. In fact, we're actually seeing bot lane is very even in farm. There's a slight CS advantage in favor of top lane. That's about 10 CS. Dave has to be a little bit careful here, though. He's able to do a decent amount of damage to Sims, and unfortunately, he's going to lose Skull, the cowardly steed. So he will be without his most of his kit if they try and dive. He's the cowardly lizard thing.
Is he a lizard?
He's supposed to, he's a weird reptile thing. I think he is a lizard, apparently.
He also didn't have vision there on the top side. Galungalate, he didn't have vision, so he just kind of probably guessed that the jungler was nearby. Virgot was diving into the wave trying to kill him. If he thought that he was winning the trade, he was like, all right, something suspicious here, and he knew to back off, which was good.
So it's still no kills to either side. We're seeing a 600 gold lead in the favor of the Invictus. Who does this help? Who has the better late game? Who wants to scale harder?
Be Invictus, I think. I just look at Kai'Sa and I'm like, man, she's really good. And if she gets to late game and if she gets tons of items, she honestly can just do so much damage.
Eternal Ether looking to roam onto Dabus. Unfortunately, the Q doesn't... What a hook! Mad life. That is mad life. The ult, the command shockwave from Dabus, unfortunately, doesn't hit. The TP from Dave, possibly a little bit late. That's unfortunate, though. Fantastic hook by Eris over the wall there. Props to him.
It really was a good hook. Really was a good hook from Eris there, but they're getting vision around Dragon Pit now. Maybe
I would like to see a Dragon here. I think this would be a very smart play. Yeah, I think that is a very smart play.
Probably uncontested as well.
I would like to see Luke, instead of farming that wave, come up and secure it. I think that's but there's no pressure on the dragons. That is a free infernal dragon first. That is a very nice dragon to have first. Oh, sorry, mountain dragon. Sorry.
No,
sorry, I'm colorblind. Allow it.
No, you get bullied for your color blindness on this cast.
No,
I was gonna say I can get why next maybe should have come up, but they did have a ward in that bush. Maybe if they knew they had a ward in that bush and he didn't want to give away completely that they were doing it, there was still an air of are they doing it, even if it was pretty obvious. And the TP by going late earlier was just a bit off. I think there was a bit of miscommunication because they threw the lantern. It looked like they wanted to go in, but they quite miscalculated. The Thresh didn't actually have his hook up back again just yet.
We are seeing a Bard traveling tunnel, whatever it's called. The Nocturne ult is coming in. The Kane ult, he died in ult. Ezreal, the ult comes down from Ezreal. Eternal Ether is going to be stunned up. Feared, Enix slays Eternal Ether. The double kill, though, from Brother Crow. I don't think both ADCs have to back out.
Yeah, it's just too huge of a wave for Enix to fight into right there. Maybe he could have got the 1v1 if there wasn't such a huge wave.
Also, Brother Crow did pick up the red buff. And this is going to go down. The red buff might still kill. He goes down. Even with the flash, he goes down. That was...
He just... We've got to respect his range. You can't stay there and take that wave. Once that fight's over, you should have backed up immediately, even if you are giving up the huge wave. Now the huge wave is going to crash in tower and no one's going to get it, right? Because Thresh is roaming and this is just wasted XP. It's really a lot bigger than it looks, I feel like, for the side, that one pick there. And even trade turned very sour.
And suddenly we're seeing a huge CS difference in the bot lane. That's 58 to 73 in the favor of Ezreal. And more important... Yeah, but more importantly, it's 3-0 Ezreal. A 3-0 Ezreal early game. He's going to be able to complete a huge amount of... he's picked up Essence Reaver already. That is a huge amount of gold that he's picked up there. So,
I think
sorry.
sorry, no, no problem. I think that we were talking about it in draft earlier about how this Ezreal could be a big problem, and because of this build, he could be able to tear through the not particularly tanky front lines of the Invictus.
This is
And
a
that's
risky
really
Rift Herald. Sorry to interrupt. This is
no,
a
it's no
very
problem. It's
risky
definitely
Rift Herald. Christian Simeone looking onto Dave. Dave is slightly out of position. Zooms is quite low, though. The charge coming out from Kled. Shielding just enough. Christian Simeone is now in trouble. He's going to get feared by the Nocturne. Zooms is going to go down to Dave. That is a 2 kills to 0 for now. Eris Dream is going to go down, though, to the Lifeform Disintegration Ray of Vel'Koz. Will we see another one? Dave is under turret. He's stunned. That was really smart play by Eternal Ether. Ozinox, the Command Shockwave being picked up, will pick... Sorry. Command Shockwave just to help pick up the Vel'Koz. Wow, what a fight. That was an interesting skirmish. And during all of that time, though, Brother Crow is able to put a huge amount of damage onto the bot lane turret. He picked up 2 plates and might even pick up a 3rd one in the bot lane.
Yeah, Guardian Trigger really saving them a lot of time, and Bard's life there was kind of huge. It was a big shield onto all of them as they were about to get bursted down. But the fight that was, it did go slightly, looked like in the favor of the Invictus. But as you're mentioning, Brother Crow is the main problem for this team right now, and he's just getting free farm down bottom. But now the Nocturne is 3-1 himself. Maybe if you can catch this Ezreal a bit out of position, maybe catch him using his E, you can ult him and shut him down so it becomes less of a
Dave
problem.
playing very risky, but that's because he knows he has the Nocturne there, who picked. He did pick up Rift Herald as well, so they might be looking to just try and shove down the top lane and try and get a couple more plates here as well.
Nearby.
Dave will have Skull back in the next auto, I think, on the turret. So this is going to be 2 plates down. I think only 2 plates. Yeah, and they should back off now. Kayn, while that's happening, Kayn is able to take a decent chunk of the jungle, and we have a pause. Someone has had to pause for some reason. Whew. Right,
Yeah,
the game state right now, where is it at?
I feel like it's very much what we kind of expected a bit from the early game. Nocturne getting a lot of these early skirmishes and not really using his ult for for the other fight, but it did still turn out that he was able to get in these skirmishes and get these early kills. But Ezreal really has been farming up in that bot lane. He's got a decent CS lead. He does have 3 kills. His gold difference is diminishing slightly because Enix did move to the mid lane, pick up some plates of his own. They did get that play around Herald and use the Herald up there. So Invictus have amassed a 1k gold lead, but it helps that all of the gold, most of the gold, sorry, for off-roll Aquarium is on this Ezreal.
And as you said, that's where they want all of it to be. I mean, Brother Crow is the main carry in this comp. So that does, I think, work out quite nicely for off-roll Aquarium. Eris is a very awkward position. He is able to just dodge that, but the Bard ult, I think it's called Tempered Fate. The flare is going to come out. He's stunned up though. Oh, that's unfortunate. Did well to try and stay alive for as long as possible, but too much damage on the side.
Yeah, that's
just Aquarium.
That's even off of the play around top side. They had vision and control over the jungle because of the Herald Blade up top that they maybe spent a bit of too much time preparing.
Dragon is going to be taken, and I don't think Invictus can do anything. Ozinox might try and flash over for the steal, but I don't think it's going to happen. He's stunned up, and Red Team slay the dragon. So that is Infernal. And actually, this is Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, this one is.
yes, yeah, I know. Infernal Dragon going the way of Off-Road Aquarium. And that is another plate picked up for Dave. Just as it's about to fall, got half a minute before the plates go, and there will not be any more gold from those plates.
Yeah, I think the side of the side of Invictus here, your Kai'Sa is your main carrying your damage to your Orianna, and they haven't looked like Hilda.
Coming in the near side, Bard is able to escape through the portals. Brother Crow is looking very dangerous. He's so low. He gets the shutdown on Nocturne. Enix has to ult all the way in. He gets stunned up as well. This is going to be a very dead Enix. He has to flash out. The charge coming in from Kled is going to hit Sooms. He's
Lovely hook.
Lovely hook there. Sooms goes down. The Tempered Fate a bit too late by the Bard to save him. The Q comes out onto Glungulate, onto Dave. He'll be fine. And yeah, that was a clutch couple of shields. I think both the Thresh shield and Orianna shield just saving him. And that is a huge, huge turnaround on what looked like a very shaky fight to begin with.
I think it was just Orianna shield, to be honest. I think Urgot ult timed. Urgot did ult Enix, right? Or did he? I can't remember really. I'll have to look back. But I think Urgot ulted Enix, but I think the timer ran out. But it was only the Orianna shield because Thresh had to land on Nocturne to try and help him win the trade. And unless he went W max, then it wouldn't have been up again. But the Galactic looking a little bit out of position here, maybe, but Kled does have good movement.
Yeah.
Just going to wander away. But yeah, I can't believe Enix lived in that fight. He looked a bit out of position. Ozzy's thinking he has the solo kill on the Ezreal, but quite miscalculating a bit of target.
Dave is a little bit... he might be dived here. I think Brother Crow does have a lot of damage right now, and that turret is quite low. He is going to get poked down quite heavily. He doesn't have much before his form will run out. Brother Crow does pick up the turret, and Dave is now in a very awkward position. He has to try and fight, but I don't think he will have enough damage. Nocturnal through the portal, and Galungulate he'll have his form back. That is a double. That is double what looked to be an awkward position for Dave. He must have known that that was good communication. I think really well done to turn what looked a shaky situation into essentially 2-0. Well done.
Yeah, we're clearly misreading all the situations right now. They're just turning around a lot of what seems like bad plays by good positioning from their team and good reaction times. Like, every time there seems to be a play that's not working in their favor, the team's right behind them, ready to follow up if something does go down. Like, right there, it looks like he's in a bad position, but Nocturne's where with the ult. The global presence that we're talking about them having comes into play so heavily, because you can't make a play without the fear of Nocturne coming for you, right? Like,
you could say the paranoia.
You could, exactly. You can't. It's just the fact that these global presences, global ults can have this presence against an enemy team is so dangerous. Enix, nice awareness there, not stepping up and knowing that Urgot wants to kill him.
Yeah, but a single ult and maybe a Q would have been enough to pull him into the chains, into the jaws of death of Urgot.
But yeah, no, I do want to mention as well, Eris this game has kind of been crazy with these Thresh hooks.
Eris is out of position though, I think. I don't know.
Is he?
No, he's not, because Dave is there. The Nocturne ult will come onto Sooms. I don't think he's got enough damage to finish
pick up
off
the kill
Eris.
for yourself.
And yeah, again, I'm misreading everything. Dabis is a decent amount of damage. The QW there. Enix might have to be careful. Bard does a lot of damage.
Dude, this Bard's the scariest person on the team.
Honestly, I'm always scared of Bards. They deal way too much damage.
Yeah,
Eris might have to be a little bit careful. That is red form Kayn, isn't it? Or has it not?
I did not see. I will have to look at him when he shows again.
Yeah.
It is red form, yes.
It is red form. So that is the tankier form of Kayn, which is, I think, has to be the right decision.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
They need the CC. Hopefully, Invictus will be able to. Yeah, they get the turret before Rift is actually charges, so they're able to get a full charge onto the next one. Unless they just leave it. I think that was a slight mistake. I don't think it's going to hit. The Tempered Fate comes out as well.
Okay.
So they do not get a single charge out of that Rift Herald. Possibly a mistake. And there is now... the next fight will almost certainly be Dragon, unless Dave is definitely in an awkward position here. He gets stunned up. He has ult, but it's not going to be... He has nowhere to ult too. He is at no form. He is down. There is no way he's getting there. And the shutdown goes onto the Kayn. I think that's probably who you want it to go on at this point. So, they have... Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I said let's play here. I think Enix probably should just back off, but...
Yeah, the turret goes down. And so... Ooh! Kristen's here landing...
Eris could look for a hook.
Has to be careful. Surely, while there's a man down and be Invictus, they should look for this dragon.
They definitely should, and we'll see if they go for it. I don't really think the Invictus should contest.
Ozinox is looking very caught out. He just manages to flash. I think he managed to just flash the Ezreal ult as well. A very, very key flash there. But it's now a 3v5. Kled is going to be here. The dragon is going to go down. The flash hook! Nocturne! Eris picks up the kill on Vel'Koz. He goes down himself, though. Nocturne is down as well. Urgot, Sooms is down. Brother Crow is looking in a very awkward position. The Temper Fate, very, very key. Kristen Simeone with a triple knock-up. Dabis just on the outskirts. Enix is probably going to go down. Enix goes down. Kristen Simeone looking like the portals all over the place. Gulangole, Dave, he doesn't quite have his form. Is he going to get his form back in time? He is not. He goes down as well. Kristen Simeone is now on a rampage. Going from 0-2 to 4-2 in the space of 2 minutes. Cloudrake picked up 4 kills for 2 as well. Dabis has to be very careful. There is not a turret there. Dabis is now in no man's land. He might have to use the Blasting Cone to get out, and he does.
Yeah, that was a very bizarre fight coming out from both sides. Being Invictus, I like the idea of the re-engage afterwards. You know, you have the TP in. You're not really fighting for much because the Drake has already gone over, but, you know, you're still looking for the team fight to get ahead. A beautiful flash hook engage from Eris, hitting onto the Vel'Koz, one of the priority targets. Nocturne follows through the ult, and then after that, it just gets a little bit messy. You end up, I think it was 3 for 3, and then you try and chase them through their jungle with Bard ult still. I think Bard ult was on cooldown from using it against the Herald. So they were waiting for that cooldown to come up, and they waited long enough, played it slow, kited back. The ult came through, lovely setup into the Kane W, which just meant that they could turn the fight around from that 1-2 combo right there. And that's just how this game is incredibly close now. Gold sitting at a very, very slight margin. One kill is like the gold difference, actually.
Yeah, it's it's a 400 gold. If this turret goes down, I think it will very, very soon. They'll be almost exactly even on gold at 20 minutes. Exactly even on gold. 35.5 on both sides right now. At 21 minutes, it is too close to call for sure. There is Baron, though. It is 21 minutes. Baron has spawned a minute ago. Surely the next fight will be around Baron. Airstream is looking like he might get stunned up. He doesn't quite. He has to use the ult.
Oh, they're gonna
Temper Fate comes in. Kristen Simeone.
Very far away.
Oh, the Urgot ult coming in. Dabis has to run really quickly. While all of this is happening, though, Kled is just mowing through the bot lane. He will not have TP for this Baron, though. So this could be a free Baron. I don't think Invictus have enough damage right now. They do have an Orianna ult, which could be key in such a small area.
Isn't the fastest.
This is Kled. While all this is going on, has a Dabis is very, very low. Brother Crow. They can't do the Baron anymore. They can't do the Baron for sure.
They've been pushed off a bit.
All this is happening. Glungulate has got one turret and is going to push a little bit further. I think that's quite strange. Simeone pushing up so far that he wasn't tanking the Baron anymore. The Baron, there was no damage being put on Baron in that play. I think that was actually a mistake from Off-Road Aquarium. They had nearly got the Baron down. They were 5v3. I think they possibly should have gone for it.
Well, what it was actually was they were committing to the Baron, and then they got this good Vel'Koz ult, and Aria was on the smallest bit of health, but Dabis hits a huge shockwave, stopping the Vel'Koz ult and stopping any kind of follow-up as they're locked up, as their team could just walk away. They've taken all this damage from this Aria, and they've committed to this play to try and turn this fight, which would have gone well had Aria not got the big ult off, and then they've just taken too much damage and they can't do it anymore. And then Invictus end up coming on top because of the tower and the push they got on bot side. Beautiful macro play and a really good ult from Dabis to turn that situation around. Truly,
they just saw Enix back. They just saw Enix back, so they know there is no Kai'Sa in this fight. They just go. This might just be a free Baron. They know Kai'Sa is not close. Nocturne. They have to. The charge is coming. The charge is coming. Is it going to land on anyone? It's not quite. The Nocturne ult is going to Tempered Fate coming out, so Bard doesn't quite go down. But again, Brother Crow picking up Ozinox, though. I think he was possibly miscommunication on who to go for there. The team was slightly split. on the side of Invictus, which meant Ozinox was left on his lonesome. While this is happening, Urgot is doing the same thing Dave did earlier and is just trying to push bot. And now we have Dragon up without the jungler of Invictus. Dragon is spawning literally right now. So this will be a very, very... Christian Simeone, we didn't see that. We didn't see you slightly mess up trying to get over the wall. But anyway, they get the dragon. They cleared it nice and quickly. And now, again, they're going to... both teams will try and posture around Baron to set up vision.
I think that it was a good play from the side of Invictus. I would have engaged on that personally. It was just, as you mentioned, I think a slight miscommunication. Ozzy went for a different target to everyone else, and you really should be following your Nocturne, I feel like, or at least having... that's the main thing of your comp is this death ball comp, and a death ball doesn't split into two small balls, it splits into one big death ball. So maybe just next time on the fight, try and make sure that the comms focus targets are going the right way. The Bardo as well, is worth mentioning, did definitely swing that play. I think Nocturne had the momentum to carry on and take the kill, but after the Bardo, they had time to buy and try and get away, which they succeeded in. They also didn't pick up any kills on the mid chase as well, which is a bit unfortunate, but you can't win every single one. But this does put Aura at a slight lead overall, a very slight gold lead, but mainly the two Drakes lead, and they are the one forcing these plays. They are the one dictating the pace of the game right now with the objective plays, which is important to note.
The other thing in that fight was the Kled charge didn't actually connect with anyone, and I think that really damaged the ability for Invictus to actually pick up any kills in that fight. So both teams are trying to get as much vision as they can. Ozinox stunned up by Eternal Ether. He's going to be able to get out fine, but we're seeing a lot of damage from that Bard. Oh, what a champion that is. Support.
Just walked up the enemy jungle. Oh, you really can't be there.
Ozinox using the spell shield to a fullest effect, but it's going to get Vel'Koz ulted. The Urgot ult coming on, but it misses. It goes onto the Thresh instead, unfortunately. So no chains of death there. And that is just a free turret, essentially. And I'm sure they will posture towards Baron. They will look for Baron, whether they start it or they just look for a trap. They have been spotted on a ward, so I think they might either back off. I don't think they can force a Baron still.
No, it looks like they're opting to not. They've seen Kayn walk through the jungle going topside. They're maybe looking at what kind of play they want to do here, trying to get vision back in their own jungle so they feel safe. And once again, this is Aura dictating the pace of the game. Eternal Ether trying to get bot vision, but just able to get out in fear of the Kled.
I mean, it is Bard. If there's any support that is allowed to go that deep and then escape,
he's got to roam and get his chimes. His chime was there. He needed his chime.
Yeah, that is true. He is technically the one of the few supports who is... actually, both supports are eternally scaling, I believe. Both Thresh and Bard, technically, are scaling champions.
Oh my god, look at the amount of wards here.
Oh, there's so many wards. Christian Simeone, the knock-up doesn't quite land on anyone. Now, so Kled is bot lane. Urgot will probably go bot lane to answer as well. So it is 4v5 mid and top. Who wins a 4v5 though? Invictus or for Aquarium?
A 5v5 or a 4v5? Sorry.
4v5 if both top laners are not in the fight.
A 4v4 if both top laners aren't there.
Yes.
It really does depend a lot on execution, because if Invictus can get onto this
Christian Simeone looking very, very deep towards Dabis, who is chunked by that Ezreal ult as well. Sorry, you were saying?
No, I was saying about if they can get onto this Ezreal, basically, that is a lot of their damage gone. We are starting to see them pick up anti-heal, which I think is the right call. This Kayn is really becoming a problem as well. Truly the two biggest damage dealers on the side. They've got a lot of the engagers on the Thresh, onto this Vel'Koz and such, but if you can hook or Nocturne ult this Ezreal or be able to pick off this Kayn when he's getting through the walls with a hook, for example. You can sometimes just catch him out there. That could really turn the tides of this game.
Eris is looking very on his lonesome there. Christian Simeone trying to knock up. Eris Dream will be going down for sure. The hook comes out onto Eternal Ether, but he's chained up Sooms carries that.
Nice
Kane goes
response.
down. Galunglate is on his own, 1v4ing though, and Sooms is able to pick up a double kill in that.
On the slight bright side of this one, the jungler is alive for the side of the Invictus, where the jungler is not alive for...
Ozinox he's stunned up again, but there's not going to be enough follow-up. He should just back out here, surely. Tempered Fate lands on Dabis. He flashes out. Really needed flash. Sooms is going to pick him up, though. Sooms is on a rampage. He's going to pick up Ozinox. Enix does get one onto Eternal Aether, but it's not going to be enough. That is a shutdown. And that is a double kill. That is essentially an unofficial quadra kill for Sooms. 2 double kills in quick succession. That is... Ooh, and I think that was an ace, or was Thresh back up just in time for it not to count as an ace?
It was not an ace, technically, because I think Thresh spawned as the last person died. The stopwatch bought time for that, at least, as it was burned by Aussie.
But that is Cloud Soul. So that is going to be a very, very fast bar. That is going to be a very fast Kane. And yeah, they can Baron. There is a Urgot TP as well. Urgot deals a lot of damage with his shotgun knees. I love shotgun knees. Best
really
thing in the game. Yeah, I mean, this is a free Baron as well. That is Cloud Soul and Baron going the way of Off-Roll Aquarium, and they are looking to swing this very, very quickly. The Invictus have done very, very well so far, but I don't think they have an answer now to a very strong Urgot.
I think this has been a very close game so far, and truly, it's just some big plays that have been making the difference. Eris slightly out of position for the start of that play. He has had a great game all games so far, but slightly being out of position there caused the team to just take an unfavorable fight before the objective. They're able to pick off the Kane, but it really doesn't matter when 2 of your team go down and you're already feeling at a slight disadvantage, and you can't commit to this death pool that you need to commit to because you're down members, even if you did get the jungler. So we really haven't seen them get this dream kind of... the idea that they're going for, we kind of haven't seen it fully in action yet, and I do honestly believe that if they can get that into motion and commit to this big death ball on a carry, it could still turn the tides of this game. Calzo is not the worst soul in the game to fight, although it does give them the movement speed, which could help against Kled. They're looking to just commit bottom here, and I mean middle here, and just go for the end.
I mean they have Baron minions, so this, and they have very, very quick clear. Eris does hook Christian Simeone, but he is going to go down.
What hook you want?
Zooms a big shockwave onto 2 members. Ozinox might go down as well.
Beautiful, Ezo.
Yeah, Tempered Fate, Eternal Aether does not miss these. Enix might be going down as well. He just escapes. Galungalate has to charge in just to try and survive. The amount of shielding he has, he might still survive. Brother Crow playing very aggressive. Is he going to pick up? He picks up both. Enix is on his lonesome. I'm not sure what he can do. He tries to get Brother Crow. He does go down to the turret. I rate the ballsiness, but this is going to be the end. Off-Roll Aquarium will finish off Invictus. I have to say, though, Invictus gave one hell of a fight all the way through. A very close game, but it does go to